Hello, I'm Chris Lapadosty in Stagiopoulos, and this is Man Free World. Tech Sports coming out on Tuesday to close that, hopefully. Today we're getting into some stuff about cults. I have been accidentally involved with cults for a long time, and it was only when I moved to Mexico and did a deep dive into Scientology did I realize just how widespread. I kind of knew a little bit. I kind of had some inklings about the whole thing was around cults, but and I also came to the realization at some point that maybe after I've met so many people from cults accidentally, because being around these groups, just being in Austin and just running into people. They're super nice people, but they all are looking for the powers to not be nice people. They're trying to find something that lets them get revenge or ultimate love or unlimited health. They're like just trying to cheat the rules, and they go after these guru guys because they feel so weak and small, and they build them up. So they basically enable this criminal activity. Let's listen to a little bit.
Hey, my name is Shalise Ansola, and this is Cults to Consciousness, where we discuss leaving high-demand religions or organizations and finding healing and independence through awareness and true individual sovereignty. If you're only listening and you want to see our faces, you can go to our YouTube channel at Cults to Consciousness, or you can join in on the conversation.
We'll give her a like and subscribe. She's doing some good stuff, but she is the kind of person I'm talking about. She's super nice, She's also on the codependent side, and she likes to blame these cult leaders. But you have to understand, these cult leaders only exist because of people like her that are codependent who are looking for the powers. Let's go.
Like, subscribe, all the YouTube things, helps
the
the algorithm, really helps our guests feel supported and encouraged when they read your comments. So thank you so much for doing that and creating a safe space for them. So today's guest, I found her because we just did an interview with Joelle about the yoga community, specifically one where she was married to a guru. It was this whole thing, this very fake con man guru. And she was like, hey, you should check out this girl on TikTok. And I found this article about her. And then I opened my TikTok, and lo and behold, there were a whole bunch of comments, people tagging me in her videos. And so we reached out, and she's here with us today.
Yay!
Thank you, Charlotte, for coming on.
Cult,
Of course.
so, it kind of makes sense if you're going to do a cult show. People are going to talk about cults and stuff. Yeah, so this one's a really interesting. So I went to a yoga studio in Austin that was associated with this group. I was just going there to work out and get over fixing my body from working in tech, and I was just going to the studio, and it just happened to be it was really super nice, beautiful place, people super friendly, really very very good, nice studio. Very well scheduled. Everything was scheduled, but it was all run by the code-ups, man. It was all run by volunteers. I didn't know this at the time, but it was all run by these cult members.
Thank you for having me. We just connected an hour ago,
We
and
did.
I drove over, and we're here.
Yeah, so she's in LA. Everyone's probably thinking this is odd because normally we don't do in person, but she just lived kind of down the street in LA terms. And so we're going to further the discussion on cults about yoga, specifically this one woman who ran hers like a cult leader, and she was involved with celebrities.
That's this lady here. Well, this is
really problematic. You worked
leader.
for her for a few years.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about the downward spiral and how that kind of happened and how it impacted you, how you got out, and how she's blowing up on TikTok right now, guys, because she's telling her story. So what's your TikTok so they can follow you?
At charlotte.medlock.
Okay. And we'll put that in the description so you guys can click on it and do all the fun researching after this. But let's get into it. So let's talk about the cult leader first. This is the first time, not the first time, maybe like the second or third time, it's a woman, because usually it's a guy leading the cult. It's very patriarchal.
Well,
so this is very different. And
there's a guy.
So give us a little bit of a rundown on the guru.
Some of these girls are super hardcore, and they want the powers as well. They've got convinced by the guru that you do this and this and that in this way. Some girls are super headstrong and hardcore about it. And you can kind of see the type that I'm talking about right here. She's feisty. Oh, she's got the man jaw too. She's like, So yeah, she's gonna get that power. Yeah, get that power. You're going to have control over the world and put it back to normal.
Jagat. Her real name is Katie Griggs.
Okay, so how did you come up with Jagat? What is that? Does it mean trouble? So this is very different and kind of exciting. So give us a little bit of a rundown on the guru.
So Guru Jagat, her real name is Katie Griggs.
Okay, so how did you come up with Jagat?
It's interesting why they say it's Jagat, because I've always heard it Jagat. But they say Jagat now or Jagat. I've heard it both ways. And she also pronounces another word different weird.
Does it mean something?
So in the Kundalini yoga community, everybody is encouraged to get a spiritual name. And the way you get your spiritual name is you go to this website and you pay $40.
No, that's not how you get a spiritual name in the yoga community. This is how the grifters do it. No. The traditional way you get a name is if you get someone who actually sees you as worthy, picks you to be their student, and they tell you this stuff like one-on-one, and they'll give you a nickname like you little shit, or you little turd, or you dumbass. What's wrong with you? You're fucking up. Like that was the kind of names they would give people to let them know, like, hey, I don't know anything right now. I am completely clueless. Yeah.
And this woman...
No, you go to a website. She looks at your birth chart. And then, no. You got your... Sign number 7,528. You're dealing with a grifter, dude.
Rinjin, who's the director of spiritual names, looks at your real name.
Director of spiritual... Oh, yeah. See, this kind of person thinks there's this whole... magic thing, society somewhere. No, these people know that you're looking for this. These people have set their life up and set things up in a way that you expect it to be, lady. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the spiritualist. No, that's not how it works. But that's how you think it works. And these people know that you think this way, and they set their lives up. But she's gonna get it. She'll actually, but she hasn't put two and two together yet. I hope she sees this video. Maybe she will. You're looking for this, so they know you're looking for this. So they've set these grifters, a grifter has set things up knowing that you're looking for them.
Birthday, and then assigns you your spiritual name.
Interesting. Wait, what was yours? Can you tell us?
Adi Chanan.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, Adi Chanan. So who cares? This random characters. It was picked by some woman that runs a website for suckers. You know what? I went to a website too. It called me. My name was Dinky Wonky Winks. Did you know that? My name's Dinky Wonky Winks. Yeah, the spiritual name guide gave me that.
And I just found out because I met.
Pathetic. These poor people. What about what happened to her to get her to this state? Right? What happened was our society got destroyed by some people that she's encouraging. People just like that, not these same people above her, above the people running way bigger scams than this one. That's what happened to her. That's what happened to all of us. We've grown up in this Eddie Haskell society that has fractured our families and fractured our people that we can trust. And we don't even know who to turn to. So we turn to anyone that puts the flashing signs out. You're gonna get the easy road to riches and fame and fortune and knowing all the things and punishing your enemies with death.
A real sick person, and they told me that my name means God's feet. That's
yeah, you are God's feet. You help the guru walk along. I'm God's feet. Yeah, it's because you help the guru walk along to get his path, get his stuff doing, and he's at the top. You're at the bottom.
Because I met a real sick person, and they told me that my name means God's feet. That's the literal.
Oh, it's a sick person. You mean Sikh? Do you mean Sikh, girl?
Translation.
What kind of gurus were you going up to? Sick? No, it's Sikh. Did you learn absolutely nothing from this person? Wow.
Sorry, this is really funny. Okay, so you said sick, but you mean like the religious.
Yes.
How do you spell it? Isn't it like an interesting spelling?
S-I-K-H.
Okay, that's what. Right. So people just don't have in their mind like coughing sick.
Yes, right.
Can you explain a little bit of that?
So Kundalini yoga is basically a mashup between Sikhism and Sikhi. I hope I'm saying that right. It takes a lot of a mashup between Sikhism and Sikhi. I hope I'm saying that right.
Cities. You mean cities? To get to access the powers in the Yoga Sutras, is that what you're talking about? Yeah, that's stuff. Oh, okay.
It takes a lot of their holy book, their mantras, and it's basically mashed up with yoga.
Sutras of Patanjali, the section with the cities. Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
And that's what Yogi Bhajan, the founder of Kundalini.
The cities of the magical powers. You become small and fly like a float like a cloud of cotton. That stuff. which is actually true, but you're not supposed to do it. And if you go after it, you'll get the lesson, which she doesn't understand. She did get enlightened.
Yoga.
She did. Kundalini did enlighten her. The guru did enlighten her. She just doesn't really. She doesn't like, oh, I don't like that.
Being child.
Yes, actually, okay, I'm going to make you back up here for a second because I think it's relevant to Guru Jagat, which is who she kind of took over for in a way, or she saw the hole in the market and took a grab for it. So
the grift. She saw the grift. She's like, oh, this is how you do it. Oh, you lie to people. Oh, you just get power and money and just live really high and mighty and small and tiny like you were before. This is what the Kundalini is about. This is what the guru teaches his master student.
Let's just quickly talk about Kundalini Yoga, the founder, and a little bit expand more on what you were just talking about.
So, well, back to the name. That's how I got my spiritual name. She claims that she got her spiritual name from Yogi Bhajan himself.
Oh.
He's dead now. He died in 2004.
Okay.
Katie Guru Jagat discovered Kundalini Yoga in the early 2000s, I think like right after 9/11. And she claims
I was getting into it then too.
That she found this yoga practice. It was life-changing. She had never had an experience like that before. And she had to meet Yogi Bhajan. So she traveled to New Mexico. She says that she got personal time with him while he was, sick in like the last years of his life.
Okay.
But
I thought the Kundalini is supposed to make you live forever. I thought it was supposed to give you the powers over illness. No? He's sick, dying, but he's got the powers and he's teaching it to you. Oh, okay. Got it.
It's kind of proven now that that's not true.
Oh,
so
surprise.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't visit, right? It's not true. Well, all of it's not true. So
kind of proven now that that's not true.
Oh,
so
surprise.
Yeah. So Yogi Bhajan, he was a customs officer in India at the Delhi airport, and he saw a lot of these like burnt out hippies coming through. They were looking for a guru, and
yeah, this is when I found out. At this moment I saw this video is when I found out, oh, now it makes perfect sense. This Yogi Bhajan guy, he's just looking for a grip. He's seen all these hippies come through. They were sad, alone, had no family, no friends, looking for spiritual enlightenment powers to get over coming from a completely broken society that's run by master grifters, right? So this guy does it, figures it out, right? And it's really funny because the guy that ran the studio I went to, super into comic books. He was really nerdy and really, I was like, why? Okay, that doesn't match. In old rock and roll tunes and stuff, and old rock and roll records, a huge collection. The top guy that ran the whole studio. Very odd fellow, this little nerdy guy. I'm like, that's very odd. That someone who is super, and they're always wearing the white shit and all of the turbans and all that stuff, that someone that's super into yoga and this high spiritual plane is even give a fuck about records from rock and roll players and comic books from the 60s, rare what? And people are like, oh yeah, he's just quirky. No. He's a grifter, and you guys are falling for it. I met a lot of these people who are into this cult, and it was all the same shit. It's just codependent people being abused by people above who understand that they have a grift. There's levels to the people who understand how deep the grift goes, right? And this person, entry level, is just getting used. Typical.
And he's like, maybe I should go to the United States and teach yoga. So that's what he did. It took off.
Yeah, so. And people think of the physical yoga as the yoga. Well, man, here's another mind bender. Go on this little egg hunt, mystery egg hunt. Yeah, it looks like yoga didn't actually come from India. The spiritual stuff does, maybe the sutras, some of the philosophy, but the physical exercise came from Scandinavia and were imported into India during the time when the British ruled and the Indians weren't allowed to have any kind of weapons. So to do martial training, they co-opted the Scandinavians, who were also associated with the British there. They co-opted their style and said, no, it's a spiritual practice. So we're just doing a spiritual practice, but it was really martial training for men. That's why it was just for men. And and it will definitely change your body and make you feel better because it's coming from Scandinavia. So yeah, they're going to look down that little rabbit hole.
Right away, from my understanding. Came to LA, he
planted the seeds.
It took off from there.
Yeah.
And he also has this ranch in Espanola, and It's kind of where a lot of the abuse happened.
So he's like, also they're doing the pedophilia and the sexual abuse. Oh, I didn't see that coming. Oh, no. They never do that, right?
And so they would kind of like drive back and forth between LA and Espanola.
Yeah, a grifter would never take advantage of his situation. It's the same story over and over and over.
Yeah, so this guy was also kind of like an imposter.
And the thing about it is, here, this lady keeps on trying to blame these gurus. And the thing is, it's not the gurus. If these burnt out hippies and these fractured people, traumatized people because the culture is destroyed, weren't so fucked up and looking to get help from anyone, and the guru's like, I have the ultimate secrets that will give you everything you wanted. Permanent bliss and release your agony. All that bullshit. And people are so starving for it. The Scientology showed me. They will grab at anything. And some people will get a tiny bit of success because it's them doing it, right? This is the secret. This is the secret. This is the actual teachings that the guru here is giving, even if he is not trying to. But this is what he's doing. Is like, it's all inside you. You have to figure it out. You have to go through it. Someone can show you some things, and you can read all about it. You don't have to go to these damn studios and gurus. But you have to go do it.
Where he just built himself into this character. He was pulling things from other places, calling it Kundalini yoga, the Sikh religion.
Yeah.
So he pulled.
So he just made it up. It's all made up anyway. And by the way, all this yoga stuff, all these physical moves, everything is just a name for how you want to move your body around. And it's really good to move your body around. How's that? There's different ways to move your body around. Okay.
Pulled stuff from that religion, and then he pulled some other techniques, branded it as Kundalini.
Yes, he pulled stuff from a yogi named Devendra Brahmachari in India. So it's Philip Islip. There's some YouTube videos.
Which he got his stuff, which he doesn't say, but you can go look into it, from these that was around. It was how the British, and well, not the British so much, but the Scandinavians who were stationed there, that's how they kept fit. That's how they did it back in the home country. It's all Russian stuff. Yeah, come on now. And you can also develop yourself. You figure if you go and work through things, you can find it all out. You don't have to even follow their stuff. Just try to move your body around like an animal. That's another way to do it. Like roll around the ground. Like all this jujitsu stuff is the same stuff. It's all similar stuff. You don't need to go do it with these teachers for the higher powers and the things that doesn't exist. Except in yourself, through going through stuff, like she's going through, like she went through. She got away. She got a little dose of enlightenment. Ooh, seeing things as they are. Ooh, I don't really like that. Yeah, it's not supposed to be fun. You're not supposed to try and go after it. It happens just as you're going through life, trying to figure things out. You're not supposed to go after life. If you go after enlightenment, you meet people like him. Like this guy, the guy that's her, she's influenced by her guru teacher is influenced by this guy. That's enlightenment, man. Yeah, it sucks.
Videos that he's created, and he breaks all of this down. He basically did some research, and it was very easy to find out who Yogi Bhajan studied with in India. Mm-hmm. And he came over to India, and in the early years, he kind of referenced those two influences. And then when it wasn't convenient for him anymore because those people were still alive, he basically said, well, actually, no, Guru Ram Dass is my teacher. And he made up another teacher named Sant Hazara Singh that he studied with. There's no proof that he ever existed, but he just made up this whole story. He trained me to be a Kundalini master, and now I'm here. It's this ancient secret technology, and it's only, it was only available to privileged people in India, but now I'm here.
Same thing. There's always the same story on these cults. There's always some secret level that they've had access to because it's something that happened. It's always some wishy-washy, strange story that changes. And people still believe it. They're so desperate, right? Because our society's been fractured by master grifters, and things are breaking down, and things aren't going well, and people don't believe the lies, and people are becoming enlightened. They're becoming awakened to the bullshit.
Because humanity is in crisis, and this is what's going to save the planet.
Who said you're going to be full of like, you're full singing, your body's singing. Yeah, because this thing's fucked up.
Got it. Which sounds like a good idea, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, great, let's help the population get to a better headspace, and everyone wants that.
Right.
So it makes sense why it took off, especially in LA. And so the thing is with him, though.
Yeah, because everyone's so fractured and broken, looking for the fame is just like this placebo substitute of like having so much love and adoration that you just can throw it away. That's really what the people are looking for. I just want someone just to accept me, someone just to love me, adore me.
Is behind the scenes, he's doing all these awful things. There's sex abuse, right? Pedophilia going on. All these different things that clearly make him not someone you should look up to or want to learn from.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, I just can't believe he like got away with it.
I believe it. It's happening now. It's more happening now than ever in the world history. What do you mean you don't believe it? Did this person just get here? Wow, this person must have just got here. Oh, there's nothing going wrong in the world. Everything's fine. Everything's normal. Yes, this is all fine.
That's what we're finding. So I just barely started looking into these yoga cults because I never saw yoga as an issue, and I don't think yoga itself is an issue.
Kind of is a little bit. Yeah, it kind of is because of the people that are looking for this stuff. There's entry level stuff, and then there's levels to it. And they put this label on it, and it's a lie. There's nothing really. That's not really a thing. They call it this thing, but it's not really a thing. There's not really a thing. Yoga is not really a thing. It's just moving your body around. It's not really a thing. I know people want to make it a thing. People want to make it a really big thing. It's not a thing. Go to the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. It mentions Hatha Yoga. It doesn't mention anything about any moves. It's all made up. And it's great. I love it. It still works awesome. It doesn't matter where it came from. What matters is that you move your body around. That's what matters in the Hatha Yoga process. And then the spiritual stuff is just realizing that there's levels of the game and that you're kind of dumb until you've like experienced enough stuff to like push you through to like a realization. Because you can't be told these things. You have to go through them. And it bites.
It's obviously the people who manipulate and use these techniques or these promises to do bad things. And so the more I've been looking into it, like we were just watching the Bikram documentary, they all do the same thing. They just culminate this.
Because you do the same thing. Because you do the same thing.
Presence about them. Say they have all the tools, all the secrets, you need them. You're only going to learn these enlightenment tools through me, and then they use their power and their money. Yeah,
there should be yours the first sign. All this stuff is universal, known. It's out. It's a way. Everything that's known, you can find out. Anything that you can't find out, you're gonna have to find out on your own anyway. So
to abuse other people, and it's really awful. So okay, now we're gonna get back to
it's really awful because people like want to take a shortcut. The only reason why people want to go to this person is because they want to do a shortcut. They know all this stuff is hard. They don't want to do the hard work. They want the shortcut, or they're broken and they just want a community, or they're looking for money. There's only three things people want. They want the love, right? They want the health. They want the money. It's the three things people want. We can break it down to the three things. And these grifters know that. I'm surprised that you don't know that, or these people don't know that. And I hope you do know that. These are the three things we go after. And people can hook into these things. If we're having problems in these areas, people can fuck with us badly. Yeah.
Your guru. So she claims to have learned from him, what we were just speaking of, and she starts to embody the same type of persona.
Yes, she claimed Yogi Bhajan told her to go to LA and teach at Yoga West.
Yeah.
And
that jaw's like, yeah, get in there, girl.
That's what she did, and she first started teaching under the name Kundalini Katie. That's what she did for like 10 years. And
master recruiter. You got the juice, girl. You believe it. You halfway believe it. I don't believe this crap, but you halfway believe it. And I can make sure you get a steady train. A poontang coming out to my El Rancho.
I just happened to move into an apartment that was down the street from Yoga West, and I was new to LA. I was exploring.
Yeah, that's your karma.
Different types of yoga. I bought like a class.
You're trying different types of yoga. I'm trying to get. So you're looking for the stuff. You were gonna run into somebody like this.
Pass and like that's good. And I was new to LA. I was exploring different types of yoga. I bought like a class pass and like.
Why is a class pass funny? I guess this person doesn't really go to gyms. Obviously, he's a little chubby, so I just don't understand what a class pass is. That's funny. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And on one of the classes that I went to, she was teaching. She did have this. The class was packed. Like the first class I ever went to. The room was electric. She was working the room. She was cracking jokes.
Oh, if the room was electric, she was cracking jokes. It's because it was your first class. Okay, so you're overwhelmed with rushing. There's all kinds of you wearing costumes. The room's full. Everyone's excited. Okay, yeah, because they're all like juiced up on their own supply. They're getting super high. They're thinking they're about to get the powers. I'm going to be famous forever. Because of the Kundalini yoga will give me the powers. These people think that shit. They really do think that shit.
I was like, there's something up with her. Like she's got something going on, and
she's got something going on. Yeah, you are looking at a master grifter at the peak of her art. Yeah, it's impressive. If you've never seen someone like this, and if you have the strong will, you want to see how someone can totally hook in to people's weaknesses and totally take advantage of them. Go see one of these guys. Oof, they're good.
About how it was going to be one of her last classes here at Yoga West, and she was about to open up Rama Institute, which was her yoga studio in Venice Beach. So at that class, I like picked up a flyer for Rama, and I went home that night and I like put it on my fridge, followed her on Instagram, just kind of casually.
Followed her on Instagram. Oh my God, real casually.
Followed her journey for a few years until I eventually like.
No, I want the power. I want what she's got. This is what she said. I want.
Yeah.
What
So in one of your TikToks, you mentioned that you walked in and everyone's wearing all white. Is that this first class you went to or her studio?
That was the first class that I went to. Yeah.
I was wearing all white. Oh my God, they get costumes? Yoga has costumes? Costumes of white? You mean I'll be elevated more than others because I'm wearing white? Pathetic.
Yeah. And so, not that wearing all white is bad. Like, I have to caveat almost everything that I say because there's always people in the comments, which is fine. But when you walked in, did you initially have...
I'm in the comments too saying, you're kind of screwing up, girl, because I know you're all trying to be sweet and innocent. Just everything's happens to me. It's all random. It's like, no, you're pushing it too. This is not victim blaming because people can walk away from these organizations and they don't.
Kind of a weird sense, or were you just like, oh, this is just...
They don't because they want the power. And that's why I don't have a lot of sympathy for these guys. I have them if they're broken and they're looking for family and love. I can kind of see that. But when they're looking for like fame and power, or like completely unlimited, okay, health a little bit, sort of, but people kind of fuck off their bodies for way too long, like thinking that you can just abuse it forever and it's repairable. It's like, no, some things you can't repair. Sorry.
Just something people do, and I want to jump on board.
I definitely thought it was weird. I thought it was super weird. I felt it was very off-putting to me in a way. I was like, what? Who are these people? Like this?
Yeah, you were getting the dopamine rush. You're like, wow, they must have, to be this weird, to be this, if for her mind, to be this weird and out there, they must really have something. And that is a hook, by the way.
It's very strange. But, in the class, we're chanting a lot.
They call it a hypnotic interruption. It interrupts your normal flow and puts you into a trance. That's the best. So all these yogis are into hypnotism. If you didn't know that, you should really know that. Hypnotism is pretty big in India, by the way. Just want to put it out there. That's kind of where it kind of came from. So by asking curious questions and making people think, it takes them off their normal thinking. There's now thinking about this other thing over here while you're still talking to them, right? And as you're talking to them, it goes right to their subconscious as they're thinking about this other thing. It's a hypnotic induction. It's so crazy how it works. And these people, I'm 100% guarantee these people never heard of that. Now you know, but these people never heard of that. I guarantee these gurus all have, and these people haven't, and that's why they're so susceptible to it because it goes right to the subconscious.
We're doing movements that I've never done before. I'm breathing really, really heavily, and I left, those first classes like completely blissed out.
Okay, that's what I'm wondering too. So
yeah, if you do that, 20 minutes you're gonna get blissed out. It was like you're doing drugs. Oh, so you like it because it was the drugs. Oh, so as you're getting the powers, you're doing drugs. You're being weird, but you're just like, I'm the special one.
As far as I'm aware, it's supposed to be the snake-like energy that moves up and down the spine. If you have a Kundalini awakening, it's like all your chakras are online, and it kind of like jolts you awake, and you're spiritually enlightened. Well, not totally, but they kind of make it sound like you become enlightened when you have.
If it happens, it's not pleasant. If that kind of natural thing happens on its own, it's not pleasant. It's actually quite scary and not something you really kind of want to force and go through. I believe it's a process that happens when we're under extreme duress to allow us to access parts of our survival parts that are usually normally dormant. You'll never see them unless it comes out in very extreme circumstances like starvation, war, extreme circumstances, then it pops out and it's survival. And what these yogis are talking about is they're tapping into that survival mechanism, and it's not pleasant.
Kundalini awakening. And isn't that kind of the goal of Kundalini yoga, is to get to that space?
Yes, like the way I've like heard it described to me, it's like this very clear kind of like hyper presence.
Okay.
Yeah, like when you found out the person you were involved with was a total scam artist and was actually destroying people's lives. You mean that moment? Oh, like that? So maybe you had a little juice of it, little taste. Oh, and you didn't like it, did you? No. You wonder why they tell you don't try to go after it. Let's go with what this guy has to say.
One of the biggest paradoxes of spiritual seeking is that it oftentimes takes us farther away from the truth, farther into the mind, farther into ideas, and farther from the now moment. And it's something I struggled with for a long time, this realization that my spiritual quest was more so a seeking for more spiritual information rather than a coming into being with truth. In the words of Adyashanti, enlightenment is not an attainment. It is a realization of the timeless truth of who you are. And this is the core of why we have to stop seeking enlightenment, stop chasing it, and just be. Because it's not something we can achieve. It's not something we can gain or hold on to or treat as an accolade for the ego. Truth, the absolute, this knowing, moksha, satori, liberation, what any sage from around the world has called it for thousands of years, is simply that, the essence of what is, which reveals itself to us. But it can only...
Exactly. So what happened to this poor lady was she was revealed the truth. The truth. And she's still like, there's still layers of the game. She still thinks, oh no, there's somebody somewhere that has these powers. Somebody has this power somewhere. So I can find it. No.
Yeah, where it's not like this like crazy thing where you're like, well, I'm having a Kundalini awakening. It's like, no, you're just like locked in. Like,
Okay.
and
Just locked in. Exactly. Like I just got took all those years to this person who is just a piece of shit. Boom! Enlightenment.
everything's clear and you're getting all these ideas and downloads.
Yeah, all these ideas and downloads. I'm going to get on the crowd shows. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to tell everybody about this. I can't believe this happened to me. And they're a bad person. And I did everything right. And I did nothing wrong. And they're the ones that are all wrong.
Grades.
Yeah. So, and again, I'm not one to say that that's not possible to have.
See,
And you're getting
upgrades.
all these ideas and downloads and upgrades.
Upgrades? Like, oh, I got took. Whoopsies, I'm upgraded. I probably won't get took again like that. But you still sounds like both these girls haven't got to the core truth. Is like, it's because we're all broken inside and we grew up in a society run by grifters and we don't know what truth looks like or what a person who actually cares about us looks like. Public school.
Yeah. So, and again, I'm not one to say that that's not possible to have an amazing spiritual awakening. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. I mean, it'd be great if it was real. If you could like just
It is real, but not the way they think.
wake up out of the matrix. But these
Yeah, you can, but it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. It means you have to extract yourself from the only thing you ever knew. There's society, which is full of these Eddie Haskell grifters, hardcore Eddie Haskell fucking society. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's brutal.
techniques that they are having you learn and practice, you said they were a little weird, a lot of movements. What does that actually look like?
So in Kundalini yoga, the different yoga sets are called kriyas, and everything. I mean, there's so many. There's thousands and thousands. Yogi Bhajan made all of these up. I mean, you're holding your arms in air for long periods of time. You're waving your arms while chanting and doing breath of fire, which is like rapid. Yeah. Yes.
Do you hyperventilate? You see stars. Ooh, wow! I did that when I was 5. Stop. Yes, like I'm already feeling pumped up just from that 3 seconds of it. You try it. Just go like this. You just twist your body as fast as you can in all different ways. And just repetitively for 20 minutes. Oh yeah, you're going to feel it. I'm already feeling it right now. Do these people never play as children? Everything I've done in yoga, I did as a kid. Running around outside with my mom telling me you can't stay inside. There's only 3 channels on anyway. And only 2 of them came in somewhat decent. And they're terrible. So it's like, you can go outside now. And it's like, okay, we're going to go outside. Because it's like, there's no point in staying outside. It's like, you're just sitting there watching this stupid TV and it's boring as hell. And your mom's like, my mom was like, no, it's time for you to go outside. It's like, okay, we'll go outside. And everything we did outside was super not supervised. And we rolled around and got in trouble and got dirty and scuffed up and all that stuff. I guess these people have lived these very, very sheltered, helicoptered lives, and they just don't understand. You can do all this stuff without it.
And each one is supposed to give you, they're very prescriptive. Like each kriya or meditation is supposed to get you something. Mm-hmm. I remember the wake up set.
Get me something. Okay. That is the problem. I get, right? So that's a grifter, right? That's just a kind of an idea. It's a grift. There's no guarantees you're gonna get anything. Nobody gets anything. Kriya's by saying a word over and over and over and over and over and over again, and over 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 and over. That makes people crazy. It also locks you into the guru because it's sunk cost fallacy. So the gurus know this shit, man. This is old timey. This is their religion. This is the grift. Hey, man, if we can grift a foreigner, let's do it. That's their thing. Because guess what foreigners have done to their country? What do you think? What do you think we've done over there? What do you think white people's skin has done over there? You don't think that they think turnabout's fair play? No, okay.
One is supposed to give you, they're very prescriptive. Like each Kriya or meditation is supposed to get you something. I remember the wake up set to like set your navel in the morning. I mean, there are Kriyas for depression, for trying to find love, and a lot for how to like make money. That's kind of what got me in initially, was like there are all these Kriyas to like activate your destiny.
Yeah.
And there we go. I'm going to leave it there. Now you know it's not about the health of the Kriya or the powers. It's about the money and the fame and the destiny. These people. This is Man Free World. I'm Chris Lapadoulis, and we'll talk to you later.